Do you like a little bit of chicken fried? Maybe a little bit of a cold beer on a Friday night? Well, if you do, then hopefully you will like my Edgic analysis of Survivor 50 episode 4, where I go through analyzing the edit of every single person in the season and giving them a contender ranking from least to most likely to win the season based on how they've been edited so far. And because Survivor brought on a viewer of their show, Zac Brown, to be on the show this week, I decided to bring on a viewer of mine to help me discuss the Edgic and hash things out. My analytics showed that almost 85% of you aren't subscribed. What's the deal? Click that subscribe button. We're trying to reach 1,000 subscribers by the end of 50. And as always, please, if you know any spoilers about the season at all that hasn't come out yet, please do not discuss it in the comments below at all. Trying to remain unspoiled here. Really appreciate it. So, welcome everyone back for episode 4 Edgic. Here we are. I am joined today by Voidtoon. Much like Zac Brown, slid into Jeff Probst's messages and said, hey, you know, I'm a fan of the show, want to come on and speak. Voidtoon reached out to me and said he'd love to come help out, do some Edgic today. So I have him here to talk about Edgic, give some different insight into the Edgic in a very strange episode this week. So Void, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much, North. Like, this is truly an honor. Like, I'm really excited to do this. I've been wanting to do this ever since 49 ended. Like, I had in mind, okay, ask North, can I come on at the end of 49, and like whatever happens. And I'm so glad that you said yes. Like, this is truly an honor.
Absolutely, man. No problem. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching the videos. It means a lot to me as well. And I think this is the perfect week because honestly, I don't really know what to say about this episode. It was a weird episode. A lot of it dedicated to stuff that wasn't even part of the season, like not like the players and whatnot. So it's an interesting episode to discuss. So
it definitely is. Like we had Zac Brown come on, and in preparation for this, I listened to a couple of his songs just so I knew him. Like, he's honestly the one celebrity that was involved in 50 that I did not know. So I watched some of his songs. Honestly, what he played on the episode was better than what I saw. So like, he good for him, I guess. And like, I was impressed by his spearfishing. He was given a lot more than what the players ever got when they go spearfishing.
He was using like professional, like electronic mechanical equipment though here. I was kind of like, I thought we were going to get to see Zac Brown go out with the Hawaiian sling, and here he is like with this spear gun. I'm like, this isn't Survivor. Like, this is just normal fishing.
Exactly.
So I thought it was funny that then like Ozzy has to go out later, and Fish was like, it's gonna be a lot harder for poor Ozzy than what Zac Brown got to do. But
read my mind.
So any thoughts on the episode in general or Edgic leading up to this point before we hop into things?
Well, for starters, I gotta say that, like, okay, like, I think the premiere definitely had like high expectations, and then I think I said this in one of the comment section of your second video for the season, that it was definitely a low point. Like, we had a high, then we had a low, and then Cirie sort of definitely brought it up. But like, okay, how can things fit together? And I think based off what we got from this episode, like, we still have questions, but now things are starting to solidify and we're starting to understand it more. And perhaps what we thought for sure, we're now bringing into question because I don't know about you, but a certain tribe that has been featured plenty has sort of been pushed to the side a bit more. Wouldn't you agree?
I definitely agree. I feel like this episode, it's tough because there was a lot of stuff going on that they had to show. And so I feel like I'm not as worried about some people not getting a lot of content here. But at the same time, you know, episode 2 felt like it really slashed a lot of people's like contender chances. And I feel like this episode did a similar thing to a lot of people that were previously really good contenders, to the point that I'm really kind of up in the air to even what to expect at this point.
That is very true. Like, I've never really been a fan of the whole, okay, you got a zero vote, zero confessional episode, so you're immediately out of
Mhm.
contention. And like episode 2 had 5 people, and like I also don't like the fact that they were all women. Like, I especially did
Mhm.
not like that. So I sort of just want to ignore that, ignore this rule that has only been really in place since Survivor 42. Like, I think they just protection saw the response to Erica and decided, okay, we're not going to do this, but like it doesn't mean that they're not going to do it again. So I'm not really playing keeping that into effect simply because it's just no fun to say, okay, you can't win because of this one
Yeah.
episode. Yeah.
I definitely think I wouldn't like necessarily eliminate people because of it, but I
No.
do think it is a like a knock against them. Like I think that typically, especially with the 90 members, yeah, obviously there are a lot of people on this season and there's a lot of stuff going on, but I
Yeah,
do think like
I agree.
for like Cirie to get zero confessionals in an episode, that's pretty shocking to me.
Yeah,
So
I had to go double back and check just to make sure. Like, I'm not crazy, right? Like, Cirie did not really get to do anything this episode. Like, I was definitely shocked by that.
yeah. So, I mean, like you said, that we finally got a couple men getting zero confessionals, though. So that's a good. That's
Yeah,
finally switching it up a little bit.
we got a couple men, but like, why these 2 men? Why these 2 men?
I, in terms of trying to read the edit, it definitely is not what I would have expected. So,
No. Yeah.
um, so yeah, I mean, we'll obviously have a lot to say about each person as we go along, so we can just hop
Of
into
course.
things.
Mm-hmm.
And we'll start off talking about Mike White and the episode that he had. I think that in terms of just like how I felt about Mike White going out, I felt like this was fine. I felt like we got
Yeah.
a good amount of Mike White here. I I know that some people might be upset about it. I felt like we got plenty out of Mike White. I felt like it was a really epic move that he got taken out on. I think he should be
Oh yeah,
honored.
100%. Yeah.
So I think this was a very fun episode. I mean, like in terms of the strategic part of the episode, it's very fun to see how he got taken out. So
Yeah, like his sort of play style came back to him. Like he's the one that sort of like narrates and drives story. Like his story, like the move he tried to make against Christian, like, oh, Emily is your new Gabby, and you know what happened last time, so you can't fall into that same trap. That normal play usually works for Mike. It worked for him in David versus Goliath, but like Christian knows him, he clocked him, and he decided, oh, Mike knows where to pull the strings and where to it
mhm,
can really hurt, like hurt. So like I need to get him out before he can make that play again.
mhm.
Like Christian saw an area of vulnerability, and he knew that he had to strike while the iron was hot.
I think unfortunately for Mike, I think like he does know Christian, but the problem is that Christian also knows him, and Christian has been burned by him. And other people have said that like yes, Gabby tried to go after Christian, but she wasn't the reason Christian got voted out.
Yeah,
Mike White was the reason Christian got voted out. Pretty much the
exactly.
whole season, Mike White was trying to bury Christian since the very beginning. In the first second on the mat, he picks out Christian as the weakest part of the David tribe, right?
That was
So
him.
that was well. I haven't gone back to rewatch the clip, but I did see people saying that he was part of that decision. So
Oh,
I mean, like I think that for Christian, and I thought this even last week. I was kind of surprised that the David versus Goliath people seemed strong last week because I was like, I feel like Christian should want revenge against these two. I actually think it's bad for Angelina
I
and
mean,
Mike
like
because
between the 3 trios, I would
they buried
think
him.
that the David versus Goliath trio would be the most secure, simply because it has been so long. It's been 7 years. So,
That's
like
true.
in comparison to 48, who I believe would be the second strongest, like they've only had like a year less of
Yeah.
actual friendship between the groups. So, like, just the difference is right there. So, I wasn't surprised that they were actually decided to try to stay strong together.
That's actually a good point. I hadn't really considered that. That I guess like the wounds aren't as open as the
No,
more recent players. Um,
yeah, we're seeing the effect of those open wounds on many of these like new era people, for example, which we'll get into later.
Yeah, for sure. I will say Mike White probably shouldn't have masterminded the vote against Q last week, huh? I said at the time, probably a pretty bad move, and now look at it. I didn't even realize last time, watching them in this tribe, in this challenge, I'm like, they have no shot. Especially without Q. I mean, who do they even have that can push this boat? Ozzy with his bad back, his toasted back? Like, Stephenie might be the most physical person on the tribe. That is not a good spot for them to be in.
True, but like Q is not exactly the most challenge noteworthy person either. Like
That's true too.
He was pretty bad, especially in the individual part in 46. So like, I think it's a bit overstretched, but like I do see your point.
I do think they probably would have lost anyways, even if they had Q. But
like,
I do think that, like, I'm looking at this tribe.
Joe on the other tribes, other massive physical specimens, so, like, they are definitely overmatched.
That's true. But I am looking at this tribe, and I'm like, looking at like Emily, Angelina, even Mike himself, all infamously horrible at challenges. Even Jeff shouted out last week the challenge where they carried the disc with the water in it, how badly Mike and Angelina did last time. So I'm like, well, this is not a great group for this type of challenge. So I think even with Q, it probably wouldn't have gone well, but at least they would have had a slightly better chance. And maybe Mike wouldn't have been in a position that he's getting voted out this week if the cards had been a little bit different. Who's to say? So,
I do see that. I do see that. Yeah.
So in terms of Mike's edit rating for this week, I'm kind of conflicted on it. We take a look at the confessional count here.
Mike had 5, I believe.
He does get 5, which is tied for the second most of the episode. So he was in it quite a bit.
That's the thing though. Like the Vatu tribe, like they had in the beginning of the episode, they had their whole coming back from tribal council moment, but then they were pretty much not in the episode until the last like third, which is when the whole they lost the challenge. Now they're going back for the scramble. Like Vatu was very much condensed into the very end of the episode versus the other tribes. And I do think that definitely, like, Mike's confessionals and his plan were sort of like in a stretch of the episode. Like they weren't like separated. They were all one large part, which is where Mike heard about the plan to get out Angelina. He had his whole speech. He said, why is my survivor career always about saving Angelina? Why is my whole thing being Angelina's defender? And therefore, he made the plan to go again to try to vote out Emily and try to convince Christian to go against Emily. And then that led to the whole water scene where he tried to make the two comparisons about Emily and Gabby. And then he sort of did the whole I'm the Machiavellian thing, and that's how we sort of capped it all off as far as Mike storytelling goes. From there on, it's been Christian mostly talking about Mike.
So maybe not the highest visibility. I'm kind of wondering though, like the way that like Christian talked about Mike, and then Mike even again that I'm the Machiavellian mastermind, and then Christian talking about he's the scariest person on the island. Could we go with maybe like an over the top negative rating here for Mike?
I think that's a bit overstretched. Like I don't really think there was much tone to it. Like sort of what he talked about and how he's presented. It's just sort of him. Like I'm honestly seeing this more as a complex personality 3, like a toneless sort of thing.
Maybe we could go. I definitely feel like there was some negativity. I could see maybe giving it a mixed tone.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like I can get behind that.
So we think maybe a complex personality mixed 3 for Mike in this episode.
I can see that. I think that works.
Okay, I'm fine with that. Well, other than Mike White, we have another person that is exiting this game this week that we have to talk about, which is, of course, Zac Brown.
You beat me to the punch. I was going to ask you, okay, how would you rate Zac Brown this episode? Like, what?
This has got to be an over-the-top positive edit here for Zac Brown. I mean, over-the-top positive, 4 or 5, probably a 5. I mean, come on.
I agree. Like, you won't see any call back for me. Like, I agree with this. Like, you could I don't know how long exactly the whole Zac Brown spearfishing segment lasted. Like, it had to be over 5 minutes, but like, it was so long, so much, and it was such a positive like segment, especially for him. So like, this completely works out beautifully.
It was so long. We heard every person on the tribe, except for Tiffany, talk about how great...
We're going to get to Tiffany. We're going to get to Tiffany North.
How great Zac Brown is. Zac Brown, he's so great. Even the other tribe that lost had multiple people talk about how great Zac Brown is. And there was a whole deleted scene. The secret scene of the week was 3 more minutes of them talking about how great Zac Brown is.
You're going to have to tell me about the deleted scene. I don't think I got to see that yet.
It was nothing. It was just like Joe being like, wow, Zac Brown, he's not only a great singer, but he's great at filleting a fish, too. What a talented guy. And that was like... So, yeah, I mean, real winner edit energy here from Zac Brown. I think it's unlikely that he's going to pop back. Maybe he'll come back on Redemption Island or something like that. But I think this is probably the end of Zac Brown's journey, unfortunately. Great edit, though.
Yeah.
So then we can hop up to the top of the list and go all the way down, starting with Colby, who I felt like there was a period that we were getting this whole Zac Brown segment, and I was like, where's Colby? I feel like Colby's the one I was expecting to hear here, and I was like, are we not going to hear from him? But then when he popped up, he got a pretty good moment.
Like, yeah. It's like, okay, last time we saw Colby, it was this very negative presence, but now we're getting this like looking back at the past, trying to embrace the present Colby, who was very much positive and very much embracing the whole experience. And I think that encapsulated Colby's edit on the season perfectly. Perfectly. The premiere was great for him. I think his presence definitely went down a bit on the second episode, and I think that carried on to the second episode. Like, I was personally surprised when you put Colby second in your ratings last week, but like, now I see why. Now I get it.
Yeah, I think maybe it was premature last week, but I felt like this week, this was like the quote where I was like, oh, that's what I've been waiting for to hear from him.
Yeah, he sort of reconfirmed, okay, Colby is definitely like in the possibility of like being a top contender for this season.
I'm thinking that we hear from him talking about how he's gonna play full tilt, how he's he ain't worried about it.
He's not going to look back. He's not going to regret anything. He's also not going to take anything. What was the quote? Not going to something.
Yeah, like take anything personally or like or something like. Yeah.
When it comes down to decisions, he's going to make them and not look back on it.
Yeah,
that's a quote. That not looking back.
Yeah, and I mean, he says like run this thing all the way to the end or something like that. So I'm like, that is a good sign for his longevity in the season.
Exactly, and your whole thing with having like, Kyle saying one of you win it, and you've been really keen on one of these Vatu members winning it, and I do think Colby in particular is a really good representative of that fact. Definitely something to look at.
He gets 2 confessionals here. I don't think he doesn't get like a ton of time in the episode, but I feel like
what we get is
pretty substantial.
Yes, it's pretty substantial. It's not always about how much content you get, it's what you do with it. And Colby definitely did something with it.
Would you say that this was a positive tone episode for Colby, or
Oh
do we
yeah,
think it's neutral?
100%. This was a positive tone.
I'm thinking maybe we go like a complex personality positive 2.
I put down complex personality 3, but I can understand 2. I understand 2. 2 or 3 is fine with me.
It's interesting because it was so like he showed up and then he was there for a little bit and then went away. So it's kind of tough to say how much. I feel like a lot of people didn't get a whole lot of visibility this time.
They had to
because a
give
lot
away
of
the
it went
time to Zac Brown. That's what happened. They said, okay, who can we sacrifice to give Zac Brown his paycheck worse?
I do think compared to a lot of people, Colby stood out more. We can go with a 3 for now, and then maybe if we have too many 3s, we can bump them down. But I think that that's probably fair enough. Stephenie, this episode. Now, we hear. I was going to say we hear a lot about Stephenie. I don't think we hear a lot about Stephenie. We don't really hear a lot about her, and we don't really see a lot of her. But she's like
Stephenie
involved.
No, like Stephenie had the first confessional of the episode saying, "Oh, I'm now on the bottom. I'm basically screwed now." And yet we immediately see the target shift to like Angelina from Emily and Ozzy, and then like she just disappears for the rest of the episode. I mean, all of the Vatu members really disappear for the majority of the episode until the very end. But like even then, like no talk is really about Stephenie being a target like she said she was most likely going to be. It was about, okay, we can probably use Stephenie as a number to get rid of either Angelina or Emily. And then the same scene was Christian going to Stephenie about, hey, can we get Mike out? And like, I think Stephenie had like one confessional during that whole segment about how anyone but me, essentially, and like not even like being particular about, okay, where can I have the most say in this, but really just I'll go along with whatever plan is presented to me, and I'll do whatever because I don't want to eventually go home.
Yeah,
you were never going home this episode, Stephenie. Like what? Like your name was not even out.
I can't believe that they didn't.
Have been, but like it wasn't, and she still thought she was on the bottom despite being presented with 3 different plans.
Yeah, I don't know. It was a very confusing edit for Stephenie. I'm surprised she didn't get any more substance here. I saw one person online propose, and I want to hear your thoughts.
Okay.
I saw someone propose an under the radar 3 for Stephenie here. What do you think about that?
I don't want to go under the radar simply because she went to tribal, but I do agree that it was toneless, it was mediocre. I would give it honestly a middle of the road mixed 2. Middle of the road because she was like sort of in the episode but wasn't, and the mix because her reads were all wrong, and like she like when being talked about her, it was always about a number. It was never really about, okay, how can we include Stephenie long term? It was always about, well, Stephenie can do this, do it for us right now.
I think that I don't know if we heard anyone say anything good or bad about her though. It was she was just like you said, just kind of a number. So I think maybe just like a middle of the road toneless 2, maybe.
Yeah, I can see how that works. I was just going mixed because of the whole lack of stuff for her when there probably should have been. You know,
I would say like it was mixed in like what we take away from it, like like in a sense like the edit was mixed, but like her content wasn't necessarily mixed. Does that make sense? Like
yeah, that does make
So yeah, strange episode for Stephenie. Still not. I'm surprised we didn't get more from her. Cirie, not a lot from Cirie. Cirie gets our first goose egg of the night. Ooh, as Christians say, knife through the heart.
I'm less of a Cirie fan than most other people. Like I still do like her, but like I've seen her since I've been on her trail since she was on Traders, like less than 3 years ago. Like I'm with the Cirie fatigue personally, but like
thank you. I do have a bit of Cirie fatigue, and I got a lot of people pushing back on that. And I like Cirie, but like she's had plenty.
And honestly, like just based off what we've gotten so far, if Cirie was going to win 50, do you honestly think this would be the edit that she's been given?
I don't. I feel like I've been surprised at how high people have been on her.
Yeah,
Um,
like they sort of just want Cirie to win, so they're painting it in a way that they want to see it. Like I got advice from my friends who I told I was going to do this, that be careful with your words, try not to offend or upset anyone, but like sorry, but like I need to speak some truth and say I'm not particularly high on Cirie's chances to win the season, simply based on what I know. Survivor loves Cirie.
yeah.
If Cirie was going to win the season, don't you think there would be something more? Like in this particular episode, like we got zero confessionals from Cirie, and the most I remember her being from this episode was like one during the Sela tribe talent show. She was the judge on the right side,
Yeah.
going next, and then she was after the challenge. I believe she was one of the ones that were consoling Dee and Jonathan about not getting the Zac Brown reward. Like that's all we really got from her this episode.
I think I want to give her an under the radar one. She she said like 5 words in the episode, I think.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like I was we're going to get into this and get into the whole Steal Tribe talent show, because that was a very complicated segment that should be explored some more, because like you think some people got confessionals but they didn't. Like
Yeah.
I had to go double back and check to see what's going on and I was surprised by the results, because they were very much make or break for many of these players.
It was very confusing. I agree. There were a few people that I was like, hold on, they did not get any confessionals. I was surprised.
They participated in the segment, but they did
Yeah,
not speak.
I definitely agree. I think that in terms of the new tribes, I think we're probably looking at the new Sela as the least complex tribe of the three.
Yeah, I 1000% agree with you on that. Like, I can see them going to a tribal council, but like, they don't have many storylines going for them apart from like what we got last episode and like another particular 1v1 who won beef that
Yeah.
we're going to get into later.
So yeah, tough for Cirie here.
Mm-hmm.
Ozzy, how many confessionals? Ozzy gets 2
Two.
confessionals
Yeah.
again, 3 episodes in a row. I feel like this episode for Ozzy, there was definitely some good stuff. I really liked Emily talking about Ozzy at Tribal and how he's such a down to earth and cool guy. Like that was some positivity. I felt like
Yeah, and
earlier in the episode it was looking good for Ozzy, but then he does like the classic Ozzy trick. It brings
yeah.
me back to the first episode where Rick says, "Oh, Ozzy, he's just playing an old school game." And then this time, Ozzy's like, "We've got a plan. We're voting out the weakest on the tribe, and now I'm
And
going
then
to
he
go
just goes
fishing
straight forward on
and
it. He
ignore
like
all the
doesn't
rest of what's
question
going
it at
on."
all. Like I I'm not particular with you on this being like a sort of no toneless or positive episode for Ozzy. I think this was a negative episode. Like we saw, and the biggest example of this is like Ozzy came into camp, and then Emily literally told him what was actually going on, and like he was like okay for like a second, but like as soon as like Emily or Christian said, never mind, I'm being silly, whatever, nothing's going on, nothing's changed. He did not question it at all. Like if I was on Survivor and someone said, come here, I need to tell you a plan, and then they tell me a plan,
Hmm.
like I would ask follow-up questions like, why are you telling me this? Even if it was a joke, like I would say, what's going on here? And the fact that he was just all okay, nothing's going on, everything's the same after all of that.
Hmm.
Like, and Christian's right behind him, making faces, not about Ozzy, but like to Emily, and he's not even like aware of this. Like,
Hmm.
what?
Yeah, I do think it was definitely a bad episode for him strategically. I think like edgically, you could maybe make a case that he was shielded a little bit because we didn't necessarily see him. Like we didn't, we didn't see like negativity about him. We didn't see him be like, I am super confident that Angelina is getting voted out at the end, right? He kind of just disappears, and then we don't hear from him after the whole Emily thing. So that's kind of good for him. I think maybe like I think I would go with like a middle of the road mixed tone, maybe.
I
Maybe
do understand
a 3.
that. I do.
I think that's an appropriate rating for Oz here. You can even go. Do you think a 3 or 2 visibility? Do you have an opinion?
I mean, I put a 4 on my notes, but like,
okay,
I
let's go with 3 then.
It's a good middle.
Yeah, I feel like I think that like he definitely got a lot at the beginning, but then he kind of like vanished.
He fizzled out,
so.
He was very much confident still about it being Angelina the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
And honestly, he should have known more. He should have known that something was awry at some point.
So, well, his rival here, Coach. I felt like we heard the most from him about Zac Brown. He gets apparently only 2 confessionals, but I felt like he was talking a lot about it.
It was either him or Joe that like talked to like the most about Zac Brown. Either was in confessional or just out there on the island.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want me to just say what I think the range should be right now?
Yeah, what do you think the rating for Coach is?
I think it should be the same as Colby.
Really?
I think this was a very positive episode for Coach, and sort of similar to Colby in terms of what he said in his confessional. Like it was very much parallel in a sort of sense. Colby's was about not looking back, not taking anything for granted, and being decisive. Coach's whole Zac Brown song storyline was okay. The world moves so fast, and it's nice to just slow down for a bit. That was sort of like almost like like identical to a Colby sort of segment.
I feel like Coach got more, but I'm wondering if it's maybe like a middle of the road positive, because I feel like we didn't get a lot of insight into how he is going to like take that moving forward as much as we did with Colby. It felt more just like him talking about the moment.
I agree. I actually do agree with that. I didn't think about that before. I think that works really well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that definitely works. Coach's whole scene overall, I just think he's in a really good spot, and I don't think he's in any danger of getting voted out anytime soon. And I do think he has really great allies. Did we establish the whole majority on Callow is Genevieve, Coach, Colby, Chrissy, and Joe, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yes, I believe so.
I'm just double checking simply because I don't think Coach mentioned Genevieve in that group, but I could be wrong.
I'm not sure. I mean, we'll see how it goes moving forward. I don't think this tribe is going to tribal soon. It's my opinion.
It's a next episode is a 2-per.
Yeah, I think they're getting the first place, but we'll see. We'll talk about that at the end of the video, but yeah, that's how I'm feeling about Coach right now. Aubry, I feel like mostly more of the same. I feel like I'm still kind of in a mixed tone territory here, where it was like kind of like, oh Genevieve, stop, like lay off me, but then it was like kind of like whining about it, and then we cut to Genevieve, and Genevieve's like, oh, we were worried about you, we thought you were sick, and so it's like, oh, like maybe she shouldn't have been complaining about that. So I don't really know what to make of that scene.
I saw a clip from Dalton Ross where he was all like, okay, Genevieve, Aubry sort of caught Genevieve in a pretty bad lie about, oh, I'm coming on to check on you because I was worried about you, that whole sort of thing. I wasn't sure how to make of it at first, but like it does sort of make sense from like Aubrey's point of view. Like I know you know what you're doing. Like you're coming on to check on me because you believe I'm looking for an idol. You're not
Mm-hmm.
worried about me. You want me close so that you can stab me in the back.
I
I do
agree.
think
I think that probably is the reality of the situation. I don't know if we heard Genevieve say that. The only thing we heard
no.
Genevieve say was we were worried about you. So is that good for Genevieve? I don't know. Oh, maybe it's just it didn't matter. I don't know.
Maybe it doesn't matter, but like both women clearly know that both women are aware that they are going after each other, and like that whole situation is has been a mind f since day one, and it's not going to be made clear until it actually happens. Like these two
Yeah.
need to go to tribal in order to get real solid evidence as to who's going to who win this war.
Mm-hmm.
As far as like tonage and the Edgic for this episode for Aubry, like I do agree. I think it should be a mixed. I'm just curious what your thoughts are if this should be a middle of the road or a complex, because we did get one other confessional from Aubry during the Zac Brown reward. It was definitely a more positive tone than what we got during that whole segment, where Aubry who was talking real smack about Genevieve and like making faces and all that.
Mm-hmm. I think I'm kind of. I think that I I would maybe go with a middle of the road because I feel like we didn't really learn anything new. It was just kind of more
True.
of like
Yeah.
her just beefing with Genevieve and liking Zac Brown just like everyone else did. Like I don't know if it was like setting up anything new, I guess. Especially since we didn't get any further uh exploration of her alliance with Tiffany that was set up last time. Like
Oh yeah.
that
We
could have
got
been
no
something
follow
that
up
could
from that.
have given her more complexity, but we didn't see that. It just felt
Mm,
like, oh, I'm looking for an idol, and that's kind of all it was.
yeah. So you're thinking middle of the road mix to possibly a two?
I think a 3. I felt like, she does get a pretty big scene. She gets 3 confessionals overall, so I feel like she gets more content than some of these other people that like only talked during the Zac Brown segment, at least. So there's a little bit more screen time there, I think.
Okay.
Chrissy. Chrissy gets one confessional. It was very brief. I feel like she was like
Yeah.
8
It was like
seconds
that.
where she was
Yeah.
like, "Wow, it's so like Zac Brown. He's great." That was it. Like we did not get a lot from her. I think
I
we're
do
probably
remember one other
looking.
moment from Chrissy. It was before her confessional, and Chrissy, she was like, "Oh, you should come back to our
You
camp,
should
Zac
come
Brown."
back to
Like, and then
camp.
Colby was like, "Stop, Chrissy. He's not coming
Yeah.
back to our camp. Camp, hold your horses."
I
It's
mean, I think the fact that she was on the reward is something. I mean, I feel like I'm on the verge of an under the radar though, just because I think compared to the other people that were there, she was one of the least substantial.
I do agree with that. Like, I was very much looking forward to your thoughts on this because Chrissy and one other person who we'll get to later is sort of in a similar boat, and that is that they only got one confessional there, and it was during the Zac Brown reward, and it was either very positive about Zac Brown in particular, but it wasn't actually anything about themselves or the game.
Hmm.
So, like, definitely on the verge of under the radar. I wouldn't give it a one simply because we were actually shown them. So
Hmm.
maybe a two. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think an under the radar too is probably the zone I'm in for Chrissy. Not
It's
a
a
whole
bit
lot there.
harsh because is no, yeah, I agree with this. Like even now, after going back to watch and fulfill some fact checking, like I don't remember what Chrissy's confessional was about. Like I have it here. It was a total confessional. I have it here.
Yeah,
Here, like Chrissy confessional, but I didn't say anything about what it was about.
yeah. So I think that's the best we get for Chrissy. However, Christian, man, I went through like halfway through the episode thinking, oh, a cool down episode for Christian. This is good. We don't need as much of him. And then he gets 6 confessionals, the most of the night again, and titles the
Again,
episode and is
yeah.
the main character again.
That's the same with 50 in particular. Like, we have 24 main characters from their past seasons. Not everyone could be a main character again, and Survivor is clearly choosing who's going to be the main character for this season, and Christian is definitely their leading man.
Yeah. I think it's pretty inarguable to me that this would be a complex personality positive.
I would complex personality 4, I'm thinking, simply because it was so much, right?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think probably no one gets the 5 this week just because Zac Brown took most of the content. But
oh yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely think the whole like flashback with Gabby, it felt very and like him crying about it.
Mm-hmm.
That felt very positive, and we get like his whole history.
Mm-hmm. Like that Gabby segment definitely put it in the positive category. Before then, I was thinking just complex personality, but the inclusion of Gabby in that whole situation, that whole friendship, definitely made it positive. And I do agree with you on Christian and the whole Vatu tribe were sort of pushed back to the very back end of the episode. Like, they weren't featured as much, which I thought, okay, we're going to get a cool down episode, especially for Christian, who has gotten so much content.
Mm-hmm.
But then he got the confessional at the end of the challenge where he was all, we are the losers. Like, he did get that, and then
yippee-ki-yay.
yippee-ki-yay. Yeah. And then even when they got back, he wasn't exactly at the front. That was more so like Ozzy and Mike, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
But after the Gabby segment, Christian clocked.
Yeah.
And he clocked hard. And he drove the rest of the episode in such a way where it was so impactful.
So, Christian keeping it going. Angelina, on the other hand, how many confessionals does she get? She gets apparently 2, but again, I feel like I barely remember what she did.
I do actually remember what Angelina did. Like, let me say some facts about myself. Like, Michelle Fitzgerald in particular is my favorite player of all time. So I'm like, no one can get close to her, but if anyone could, if anyone has a shot, Angelina does. Like, I want her to win the season. I don't think it's going to take a lot more effort for her to win this season, but like, I will defend Angelina here right now. I do remember what she has done in this particular episode. The beginning segment was her saying, oh, she was definitely nervous because she knew Stephenie in particular was writing her name down, and that she was going to play her Shot in the Dark. Like, the first person to mention the Shot in the Dark this episode in this season.
True.
And that she then trusted her alliance, particularly her David versus Goliath trio. From there, we sort of backed off Angelina. I mean, we backed off the Vatu tribe in general, but then we got back to the whole scramble of it all, and it was when Mike came and told Angelina about the whole plot of Ozzy and Emily to get her out, and then he told her we should go for Emily, and then she talked some more about how she trusted her David versus Goliath trio, and
I've got my right hand man Christian Hubicki,
right hand man Christian Hubicki, and my spy and Mike White.
Mm-hmm.
These two got my back.
And then that entirely blows up, and she has no idea that was coming.
I definitely want to get your thoughts on during our predictions about where this leaves Angelina moving forward.
listen, I have been predicting since before this season that Angelina would be voted out, and she's still making it. So I don't
Really?
necessarily know what
I
her
predicted
longevity
Angelina was
is.
going to win.
Uh, I think that I'm probably still looking at a middle of the road here for
I'm
Angelina.
fine with
Probably
the
a
middle of the road.
toneless.
I just could not let you put under the radar.
No,
Not
I
this
don't
time.
think it was under the radar because I do think we at least heard a little bit from her, and I do think we heard about who she is aligned with at least, which was something. Um,
So I'm thinking. So middle of the road 3. Do you think this was a toneless episode for her?
I think it was mostly toneless. I mean, Ozzy's still targeting her, but it wasn't like there was no new like negativity or anything really. Um, I feel like it. I mean, I feel like she mostly was kind of on par with Stephenie this episode.
That's being generous to Stephenie.
It is being generous to Stephenie. I don't think I would. I mean, compared to these other people that have threes, where I felt like they had like whole scenes dedicated to themselves. At least I felt like Angelina was like in a scene dedicated to Mike White and in like other stuff, but maybe not all on her own.
Could this be the beginning of Angelina's revenge arc against Christian for Mike White? Could we
Listen,
see it?
she could
Can we
have
see
the
it?
Genevieve waking up episode next week,
Ooh.
maybe.
I was thinking more Savannah or Natalie against. Oh, you voted out Jeremy. You voted out Nate.
It could be. Uh, um, we'll see. But yeah, I mean, listen, I loved Angelina on David vs. Goliath, but yeah, her edit has been strange to me this
It's
season.
yeah, like definitely not the return I was hoping for.
Um, Rick Devens gets our next goose egg of the night. Rick Devens?
Haven't this guy been in the top of the pack this whole time? How did he get the 0 vote? The 0 confess?
I don't know, man. That shocked me. And I reached the end of that. But we went to tribal, and I thought, did we not get a Rick Devens confessional? And I looked, and we didn't.
That's one of the people I looked at, particularly going back here to like observe the whole Steeler Tribe talent show, because I thought like maybe Rick talked during that
Yeah.
segment, but no, he didn't. It was just he talked on the island, sort of like he did that. He juggled, but that was it. And it was
I
people talking about Rick. Kamilla, I was shocked. Kamilla got to confessionals talking about that segment, and she talked smack about Devens juggling.
We'll get to Kamilla. I have thoughts on Kamilla. But I was surprised that we hear nothing from Devens. I think that's mostly the same episode as Cirie. I think an under the radar one. I mean,
I would give it 2 simply because I remember the juggling thing.
I do remember the juggling thing, but I mean, no confessionals. And I mean, we don't see him at all after the juggling thing. I at least remember Cirie like in the challenge. She was like, "Go team," you know.
Yeah, maybe I'm just being generous, but I am surprised by a Devens-less episode. Like maybe this is just the reality of the situation. Like we even back in his first season, we never saw him pre-merge not go to tribal, so we were always shown him in
Yeah.
Edge of Extinction and the beginning portion of this season. So this is just the reality of the situation when Devens does win a tribal challenge.
If people want to fight for the 2, you can fight for it. But I think that like the juggling had to be shown because they had to show the whole scene. Otherwise,
I don't want to fight for the 2. I do too, but like
yeah.
I remember Devens just a bit more than Cirie.
Well, I compare it to someone that's going to get an even worse rating, I think. Compared to other people, well, we'll leave it there for now. Jonathan also gets the goose egg. People, okay, that's not people being like, people putting Jonathan high on their list. I'm like, I don't know, there's something there. Maybe I was wrong about Devens, but Jonathan.
Too early to tell if you're wrong about someone, but like, God damn it!
Yeah.
I was so prepared to like come on here and like to have a real debate about you about, oh, Jonathan is getting a much better edit than you've been just talking about. Like, I would think actually convince you to put him at like number 1 or 2, but like I would put him like 5 or 4 at least. But
Yeah.
like this, God,
This was
damn
horrible. Like,
it's like I can imagine worse. Like we've seen worse, particularly from someone else we'll talk about later on. But like I can bash people. Okay, I might be a nice guy, but I can
Yeah.
bash people when they deserve it. I was so looking forward to seeing what Jonathan could bring this season. Like I wanted Jonathan to have like a segment or a strong moment, something that we saw from the first 2 episodes, like the episodes in particular, to be like, yeah, Jonathan is a real contender for this, but like we got nothing. Like,
I do still think Jonathan's probably going to go far in the game.
I don't see him going home pre-merge. Like that's not realistic. Some small scenes I do remember from Jonathan are his segment in the talent show and Jeff talking him up during the challenge. He had small moments during the challenge, and then like the whole after challenge thing with Sela, I believe they were consoling both Dee and Jonathan because they were such Zac Brown fans.
I think Jonathan was the one that said like, we didn't even get to shake his hand or something like that. So
yeah, I think
I feel like comparatively, I felt like we got a little bit more Jonathan than Rick or Cirie, so that's why I think an under the radar 2 here. But do you disagree?
No, I agree with that more. Like during the original watch, I put under the radar 1. Going back, I put under the radar 2.
Yeah,
but still,
I think
like,
it's very circumstantial, but still.
I was defending you, Jonathan. Like, what the? How did you let me down this so bad?
Yeah.
But like, if you bounce back somehow even better next episode, I'll be back on your train. Like, Angelina, Genevieve, Jonathan. Like, I would defend you, defend you till the wheels fall off. But like, God,
that's funny.
Damn it! Sorry if I'm swearing too much.
It's alright. Well, we could talk about another person with just insane edit. Financial analyst Emily Flippin. She gets 5 confessionals, tied with Mike White for second most of the episode.
I mean,
which I'm shocked by.
I think compared to last episode, this was a bit of a cool down for her, but like definitely a mixed tone, I would say. Like
yeah, I agree.
When Emily does talk in confessional, it's always like she knows what she's talking about. But like when other people talk about her, or when we see her in camp, like it's like, why, Emily?
We see Chrissy every time.
Emily's going to cause Christian to have an aneurysm or something eventually.
It's so funny because if you've watched like them play Blood on the Clock Tower at all, like this is just how Emily is all the time. Like
Blood on the Clock Tower is too long for me. Like I can't get past like 10 minutes before I have to go do something else.
That's fair. I think, are we looking at a complex personality mix for Emily?
What I have down here is complex personality mixed 4. Would you say that sounds fair?
I feel like it was less than Christian, so I feel like maybe more in the 3
To be fair,
category.
everyone is less than Christian.
Yeah. I feel like she didn't get that much more than Mike White, though, and we gave Mike White a 3.
Okay, I do see that, yes. She got majority of the segment when they came back from Tribal in the beginning of the episode. And actually, now that I think about it, she probably only got like small portions when they got back from the challenge until her name was brought up by Mike and that whole situation happened.
I feel like we didn't really get to see her until Christian goes to her with the plan.
Yeah, I think that's actually pretty accurate.
I think you could argue it's a 4, but I think
Emily is messy. That's what I have down here. That's when she
Messy.
popped back up.
M for
Like
messy.
that whole segment that I brought up earlier was Ozzy.
Yeah. Um, D gets definitely her best episode yet, in my
I do
opinion.
agree.
Again, one
I'm very
confessional.
curious on your thoughts on this because like I have my rating right here, but I'm very curious on what your opinion is because even though it's not much, the level of positivity and possibly impact is much higher than I think you might say.
I loved her confessional where she says, like, I'm a winner. I don't settle for second place. All
I
I
want it
know,
all.
I want it all. Yeah. And I was like, ooh, that. And I'm gonna make a strange comparison here, but it reminded me of in Survivor 47. I like had posted a meme video about at the very beginning of the season. Jeff says a quote, something along the lines of, only one of you is going to be able to convince the jury to give you $1,000,000. How do you crack that chestnut or something like that? And then it smash cuts to Sam Phelan. And so I was like, this either means Sam is going to win and convince the jury, or he's going to get second place and not be able to convince the jury.
And he
And
ended up getting second place.
he ended up getting second place.
So you're thinking
So I'm wondering,
he
is this a D, like either she's going to win or she's going to not be able to do it and get second place?
is this do we have a season where a jury will be very much negative towards a winner? Is that what we're looking at?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know necessarily, but I do think it's
I
possible. Um,
I I'm not discounting your theory at all. I don't think you think the is going to make it to the end. I don't just based off what we've gotten so far. Like
I agree. I
even
was kind of a
45,
joke, but
where she was not particularly well covered during the pre-merge, she got still got more noble moments than what we've gotten from her so far.
yeah.
And I think I think her positivity is more contained in this episode in particular. Like during the intro to the challenge, like we got a lot of D, and then after the challenge, we got a lot of D, and they were very much positive, and they were very much directed towards Zac Brown in particular. So you have to wonder is Survivor editing D in this way because they want to be positive about Zac Brown
About
because
Zac
D
Brown.
was very much the lead vocalist towards like, oh, Zac Brown, you've changed my life, you changed my family's life. This you
Mhm.
mean so much to us. And then afterwards we get the whole, oh, we lost on the opportunity to meet Zac Brown, who like really get to meet him,
Mhm.
and now I'm sad and I'm a winner. I want it all. I don't want anything else.
But that transition to her talking about herself and her strategy, I felt like was significant.
Was
I'm
it a
thinking
strategy or was it just
not
her
strategy,
stating something?
motivation, perhaps.
Yeah, motivation. Like it wasn't strategy.
Yeah, it wasn't strategy, but it was like, okay, this is I think a complex personality positive too.
That's exactly what I have.
Boom, let's go.
Boom.
Because it wasn't like a ton, but it felt significant when she was there.
Hmm.
Let's talk about Tiffany.
Get your popcorn ready because I can talk smack now. Like,
Oh,
Tiffany, put it down, North. I want you to put down for Tiffany invisible.
invisible. Yep.
Like, Tiffany was not. Like, if she was speaking, it was her out of frame, and she got zero confessionals, which, sorry, Tiffany. Like, I can excuse one goose egg, but two?
Two.
Sorry. Sorry, sorry, sorry. And the only time she was actually on the show was like a 5 second frame of her sitting in a hammock during the
Yeah.
Zac Brown reward. Sorry, girl. You may have been on the reward, you may have been on the show, but you are not in this edit.
No, I mean, yeah. There's just, especially for her going on the reward and not saying anything. I have to assume she probably didn't say anything positive about it, which is why they didn't show her. But yeah, I mean, there's just nothing really to talk about with Tiffany, unfortunately.
It is unfortunate because a lot of people were really looking forward to her. Like she is the W2F pick
Hmm.
for this season. I particularly wasn't really looking forward to her. I wanted all legends. Tiffany's the only non-legend here,
Yeah,
but like I was definitely interested to see can she prove that she belongs here. And right now, it's not looking like
it's
that.
not looking good.
No,
Uh, Charlie, we again hear more about how he hates Rizzo. He calls Rizzo his mortal enemy in this episode.
it's the same content that we got last week though. Like it's
Yeah,
pretty much the verbatim. So like over the top isn't really warranted here since it's the same stuff.
I agree. I
And I'm particular. It's a lot like the whole Aubry versus Genevieve thing, but like less tense, I would say, because
it's so one-sided.
it is one sided. Like Aubry versus Genevieve is a bit more two sided. Just
Hmm.
the Genevieve doesn't know that Aubry knows, but
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
very
trying
much
to. I'm
confused.
conflicted because I feel like I at least understood more about Charlie than a lot of other people here. But was it enough to go above middle of the road? I'm not sure.
I don't think so. Like he was like we got to see him like be a bitter Betty about losing the talent show to Rizzo in particular.
Hmm.
Um, I would say Jonathan did more than in their talent portion than Charlie did. Like Charlie only got
Yeah.
beat up by Jonathan. For a second there, I thought Charlie might actually be the one on top, but eh,
Yeah, I think maybe just a straight middle of the road three. I feel like it.
I would say I would give mixed middle of the
Yeah, I
road
kind of
simply because
agree.
I still don't know. Like, are we supposed to root for Rizzo or Charlie in this
It
situation?
felt it did feel foreboding. I don't know. There wasn't really anything that like happened necessarily. I guess there was like the I'm pissed and it did the big flashback. That was
I'm
something.
pissed. Liz Wilcox. Who knew Liz Wilcox would be a almost a legend at this point? Like her "I'm pissed" his segment has been in every like compilation of Survivor
I
video
know.
from since it happened.
Um. So yeah, interesting stuff from Charlie. Genevieve, I feel like probably has her weakest week. Let's take a look at the confessionals. She gets
3.
3. So I mean, pretty much on par with Aubry, I guess. She does find the idol, the boomerang idol. So that was like some circumstantial stuff to show. Charlie also only got 1 actually, which surprises me, but it was pretty long. Um,
I would say his. Can I give something out to you?
yeah,
If Christian dominated the last third of the episode this week, I would say Genevieve dominated the first 2 thirds. Like Sela, they had their talent segment, nothing really memorable.
yeah.
But I would say Genevieve with her whole the whole segment of like trying to find Aubry and then her strategy when she finds the idol and all that, like that really stuck with me and how she spoke about it.
Mm. Do we think it's enough to go complex personality? Because it
I
was
was going to
kind
make
of.
the argument about it being over the top.
Oh, I don't think it was over the top.
Maybe I, you're you're more decisive about choosing the Edgic ratings, but like I at least wanted to try to plead the case.
Um, I mean, like she was there, but I do think it was just kind of like she finds the idol. She says she's going to give it to Rizzo. Uh, she talks about at the Zac Brown
She does.
segment,
Like
but like not the most significantly.
I would say third in comparison to Colby and Coach,
Yeah, probably
which
third.
is more than the rest of her tribe. Like I remember her like offering to give out like beers and stuff, and then she talked about how Zach brought in fish, much bigger fish than she ever brought when she spearfished.
I did like the segment where she got very Canadian. I think was she talking about Rizo and she was like, "Sorry, Rizo,
Oh,
sorry," something like that. I don't know. It definitely feels. I don't know. I don't think it's like all that different than some of these people that got middle of the roads. Would you fight for a complex personality here?
if I can't get over the top, I'm going to go and fight for complex personality.
Do we think complex personality mixed 3 again?
I had 4 on my notes, but like you're set in your ways on how on that Christian dominated the showtime. So like I know I'm not going to win that battle. So like I'm fine with 3.
Hmm. I don't disagree. I'm willing to give it the 4 because I do feel like she was on screen a lot. Um, it feels like an extreme rating. I'm curious to hear the comments' thoughts on that, but we'll stick with it for now.
It's not positive. It's not toneless. It's not negative. So like a mix does work actually for this too.
Kamilla. Now, Kamilla, I think that she was the one that got to narrate the
The talent show
talent
portion, like
show, and
this is something. Yeah,
I remember thinking they are letting
Kamilla
her
didn't get
narrate
to
this because
say
they have
anything.
nothing else to show of her.
Maybe I don't know who I. Kamilla was one of the question marks that was very much make or break with this talent show portion. It was her, Cirie, and Devens in particular because I knew Jonathan. I was following Jonathan closely. I knew he didn't get to say anything, but I was surprised out of those 3, it was Kamilla who was actually like narrating that whole segment. And like I remember Kamilla was the judge on the left, D was in the middle,
hmm
and the Cirie was on the one on the right. Um,
I was surprised. It very much feels like the type of content. Again, I said this I think before that it feels like the type of content that of what like eliminated her from contention like in the merge of her season, where it's just kind of like I'm just talking about what's happening and like nothing like it's like oh well, I'm so glad that we have fire and it's like nothing other than where's the strategy, where's who is she talking to in relation with, anything at all. It's just more kind of just general narration. um
I do agree with that. Like the one I remember the most from her was her talking about Rizzo's Mickey Mouse voice.
yeah, but
Like,
like
oh, I haven't seen I haven't heard Mickey Mouse since I was 10 or something like that.
I think a middle of the road toneless too.
Yeah, like I gave her Under the Radar 1 after the first showing, but then I went back. I saw that she did narrate that segment, so then I changed it to Middle of the Road 2.
Yeah,
So that works perfectly for me.
Joe gets one confessional.
This is the one that I was very much talking about when we talked about Chrissy because I feel like Joe and Chrissy pretty much had the same thing in
Yeah,
particular. Like Chrissy had one really short clip about how she liked Zac Brown, and it was pretty much the same with Joe. Joe's confessional may have been a bit longer than Chrissy's, but I feel like it was pretty much of the same substance.
it was long. It was longer, but again, you're right. I don't really remember what he said.
Joe
I
he
remember
had
more about Chrissy than
Joe had the opening confessional of that Zac Brown reward. Actually,
he said.
he was
Oh,
the first one to speak about it.
he got to narrate before Zac Brown showed up, and he was like, "Wow, isn't it like Zac Brown's gonna bring us dinner? This we're cutting a rug or something." I don't know, like,
Mm.
um, I don't know. Do you think under the radar, middle of the road here?
Fighting this not because I'm particular in Joe's edit and I want him to succeed, but because what did we give Chrissy?
We gave her an under the radar too.
I, should it be the same in your mind? Like, should we give Joe the same?
I'm not opposed. I'm not opposed to an under the radar too here for Joe. I mean, like it felt again, yeah, it did feel longer, but it didn't feel like he got highlighted at all. So
No, like maybe like a like a hair more than Chrissy, but like at least Chrissy had the scene where she tried to get Zac Brown back to
Yeah.
their camp, and Colby was like, "Slow your rolls, girl."
Yeah.
Like I remember that.
So I think that evens out. Rizo.
Hmm.
I mean,
Rizzo had one confessional. He did.
Rizo gets one confessional talking about receiving the idol from Genevieve, and again he says like one of the greatest players in Survivor history.
He said he wanted to prove that he was one of the greatest
Oh.
players. He didn't actually say I am one of the greatest. He wants to prove that he's one of the
Fair.
greatest.
Uh,
I would say like that segment of him receiving the idol and talking about it, like, and we do know the damage the Riz God can do with an idol from 49.
mm-hmm. Are we looking at maybe a middle of the road mixed?
Rizzo was also still talked about from Charlie back in the Sela talent portion. So like I would bump it up to a complex personality mixed, perhaps maybe a 2 or 3.
I mean, he gets one confessional. We don't really learn anything other than
It was
that
a
he got
one
the
confessional,
idol.
but he did get to talk about his sort of like stance in the game and his position. And like
I feel like I
more,
understood more about Charlie than I did about Rizzo this episode.
yeah, but still, like I'm very much still on the fence about okay, which side are we more so supposed to be on? Because like it was just purely on based on what we've seen beforehand. Like Rizzo was very much up in center first episode, and Charlie sort of came into it episode 3. So like if we take that away, where are we supposed to lie?
I agree. I feel like I don't know. Maybe he just gets the same rating as Charlie.
I think it's a bit more. I think Rizzo really was portrayed in positive light during his confessional when he got the idol. I will say that.
But we
like,
also Genevieve also was like, I want to give Rizzo the idol because he trusts me, and then I'm gonna backstab him, and he's a fool, and he's gonna get voted out or something. So
I didn't consider that. I didn't put that into account. I more so put that in like, oh, Genevieve's a really good player, sort of boat.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I think there's enough talk about Rizzo, but I don't think that he was involved a whole lot. We didn't see him talk to anyone, just like a little bit of confessional.
That is fair.
So,
all right. You like this? You like these ratings?
I like. Well, kind of. I guess I feel like pretty low on pretty low ratings across the board this week, but
yeah,
that's the way the cookie crumbles.
That's what happens when you have a 24-person cast. Like, not everyone can be the star of the show.
Mm-hmm. All right, let's try to get through these contenders here. We're running. We've been talking a while, so we're gonna.
You're talking a while, okay.
Some of these people we're gonna try to go over. I think, in terms of memoriam for Mike, not that surprising. I had him high in the premiere, but he kind of was all over the place. Not surprised to see him go out here.
No. All right, so my main goal coming on here, like this is something that I kept in the back of my head to the front of my head of what I want to do when I got the chance to join you and do these ratings.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to do what happened last season when you had a guest on and he convinced you to put the next boot that happened next week as your number 2. I remember when Carson convinced you to put on Jawan as your number 2, and then he got voted out next week. Like, minimum goal, do not do that.
Don't do that. Yeah.
I'm sorry, Carson, but like it happened. Can't rewrite history.
I think we can pretty safely keep Tiffany in last place. Yeah.
I agree with that. Yeah. I think unless Tiffany somehow pops out of nowhere, she's going to remain in last for the rest of the season until she gets voted out.
Yeah. I'm willing to maybe move Kamilla down to second last now.
It's either I think Kamilla would definitely works. Like I would if you wanted her next to last, like somewhere like that, I would have been perfectly fine with that.
I think that, like, I've been kind of defending Kamilla's edit, but it's pretty bad, at least with Angelina.
Yeah.
Although it's bad, you could maybe say there's some shielding to it. I could see her at least having a Genevieve 47 arc, which is, I mean, that might not mean she wins, but at least it's something.
Genevieve's arc really began, though, at 4,
Yeah.
which is where we're
We're
at.
past that already, so...
Yeah.
I think Angelina probably staying third last.
I would say Chrissy, actually.
It wasn't a great week for Chrissy.
No, it wasn't a great week for Chrissy.
Okay, I'm fine with it. I was kind of almost considering moving Chrissy up, just because I feel like last week was at least a pretty dang good week. Whereas
it was a good week, but it was very much contained.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think Chrissy's winning. Angelina, you can stay here. I wanted to move Charlie down, but
it's Charlie. I'll be honest. I have Angelina a bit higher than what we have right here, but I'm such an Angelina fan.
Yeah.
I can look past the bull of it all, but like her being above certain other players does irk me a bit. But like another goal was convince you not to have Angelina in last place, and I feel like I did that. So like I'm fine a bit.
I figured that's why I moved her up enough. I mean, I'm not. Do you really want me to put her above Charlie? Because I also really don't think Charlie's gonna win.
Yeah, but if you do Charlie,
let's move her up.
Do Charlie. Like this is much more appealing, actually.
Yeah, I mean, Charlie. This week again, it's just I hate Rizo. I gotta get out Rizo. And
yeah, it's the same. It's the same content that we got last week, which was very much shocking, and appealing. But like, it's the same. His same stick dude.
Yeah, Angelina, she's got a little bump. If she has a good week next week, she could stay here. If she gets another bad week,
if she gets that revenge arc, I'm telling you,
it's possible. So,
hey, and if next week you have Angelina right back down at the bottom, right after I'm gone, and can't say my piece unless it's in the comment section, I won't be mad.
That's fair. I think Stephenie can probably stay here. Do you disagree?
Yeah, I agree with that. Like, this is pretty in line with what I have here. Like, Stephenie and Charlie were connected. Like, I had Angelina at 13, and we currently have her at 15. So this pretty much works out. Mm-hmm. I'm seriously doubting Stephenie's abilities. Like, she had a really good premiere, but then she really dropped off the radar, and especially now in an episode where she just got blindsided. She believes she's on the bottom, and she got no content about her stance on any of these plans that she's being included in, other than I'll go where the numbers are, just don't vote me out. Like, come on.
Yeah.
This is your 4's time. Have a larger stance.
I think there was potential for Stephenie to have a really good episode this week, and there was
real potential, but like she did not live up to it, and that's what's really hurting her.
I have an idea of someone getting bumped down.
You want to say it at the same time?
Okay.
Like, I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
1, 2. Aubry.
Cirie. Oh.
Oh.
I was going to say Cirie because the goose egg. I feel like that was pretty bad, and we discussed earlier that it's a pretty bad edit for her.
I do agree with Cirie being lower than perhaps she has been. Like, she's in that collection. This is tough because, like, if we're I'm thinking of another player from her original starting tribe, and I'm like, I don't really want this person above Cirie.
Oh, really? From Joe?
I don't really. Yeah, I'm talking about Joe. Like, I don't really want Joe above Cirie.
We can put Joe next if you want to put Joe next.
I'm fine with Joe being next. So, like, I do think the next three should be like who we've discussed so far: Joe, Aubry, Cirie.
I agree. I think those are the next three. I think at least with Joe, he's had a confessional every episode. I think my biggest problem with Cirie is that like she's Cirie. If she's wins,
Cirie and she got a goose egg.
Yeah, if she wins, she does not get a goose egg.
Has Cirie gotten a goose egg on any of her other seasons?
I have no idea. That's an interesting question, but
we know how Survivor loves Cirie and would want to portray her, especially if she does really well, and like, oh, is Cirie going home next week? Like, we've seen players get a goose egg and then go home, and like we had the stuff last week about targeting Cirie potentially.
I think
Cirie be in the line of fire.
Possible.
Like we're getting 2 people out next week. Could Cirie lose and then potentially Cirie goes home? I know we're supposed to be talking about Joe, but like that just came into my mind, and I'm like,
yeah,
oh wow, it would make so much sense.
I think that Joe, I think that Joe has room to bounce back. He hasn't gotten the goose egg, but the edit has really fallen off. I think he's got more longevity than Cirie.
He definitely has more longevity than Cirie, especially with the tribe he's currently on. He has Coach, he has Colby. We've seen him have conversations with Genevieve. I don't know if he's necessarily tight with Chrissy, but like that seems to be like core, the majority of that Callow tribe at the moment.
Mm-hmm. But I'm open to doing Joe at 13, Cirie at 12, Aubry at 11. Do you think that's all right?
I think that works out really well.
I think that I think both Joe and Cirie, if they were to win, both of them I think would have very different edits than they're getting. So
yeah, that is
they're kind of in a similar ballpark.
Yeah.
Aubry, at the very least, like, I don't know what else you show of her, I guess. It seems like no one likes her, and she's not talking to anyone.
She's the leper of her tribe.
Yeah, so, I mean, maybe there's just no content there, which, honestly, is even worse, because then I don't know how she could even win strategically, if that's the case.
We know she's aligned with Tiffany at the moment, but, like, if your best bet is Tiffany at the moment, like
that's a bad horse to bet on.
No.
So there's a storyline there. I've seen a lot of debate between which of Genevieve and Aubry comes out on top. I don't think it's impossible that Aubry could come out on top of that beef, but then I think if that were to happen, then I think her story is done, and I don't think that.
How do you think that vote is going to go? I want to hear this from you because I heard something last week that really surprised me.
Well, I said last week I thought they were going to split the votes between Aubry and Tiffany.
How are they going to split the votes?
It would be a 2-2-2 vote.
Okay, all right. So you did have the vote. You have it right.
I did mess it. I think I included
you messed
Colby.
it up. You said 3-2-2. You forgot that Colby doesn't have a vote.
Yeah, I did forget that. But my mindset was still right that I think it would. I said that like maybe Genevieve and Colby could split it without telling people, but they wouldn't be able to. They'd have to. But like it could be Genevieve and Joe on one and Coach and Chrissy on the other.
Mm-hmm. And they split it between her and Tiffany. We're not getting any Tiffany storyline so I don't know if they know that Tiffany's against them. Like I don't know that, and that's what's really concerning me because it would be such an easy, simple vote because we know that it's Aubry and Tiffany against everyone else, but I don't know if they know that they don't have Tiffany.
Yeah, I do think that is a problem, but I do think they at least suspect that Aubry has an idol, so they have to split it.
They pretty much know that she has an idol, like Genevieve and Colby pretty much know that.
Yeah,
so we got that information from Q last week.
Exactly. So like someone has to be split on, and I guess it could be Chrissy, but like Tiffany's the only one that doesn't seem like she's inside the alliance, you know?
We don't know that for certain because we are not being shown anything of Tiffany. We don't know her stance on anything.
I don't know. Exactly. So, who do you want to put next at number 10?
God damn it! Like, if you don't know the answer from that reaction, it's going to be Jonathan.
I agree. I think it's Jonathan.
God damn it, Jonathan! Like, I was prepared to go to war for you. I've been wanting to go to war for you for so long because the North has been dragging your name through the mud, and yet I have no. It's
Yeah,
like, okay, I brought my cannons. Where are the cannonballs?
I know. It's unfortunate. I mean, I do think Jonathan has been a very variable player. I do still think he has a lot of longevity. I
He
don't even
does,
think
yeah.
you know, finalist isn't even a terrible prediction for Jonathan.
No, it's not a terrible prediction just based off what we got from the first three episodes. Like, I do like it. You didn't like Jonathan's third episode, but I particularly did because it did showcase like his strategy.
Hmm.
I was surprised that he was talking strategy with D, but like
Yeah,
the Kalo tribe targets seem to be going back and forth between everywhere and everyone always. So like,
yeah. And that new Sealer tribe, I just have no idea where the relationships are,
no,
so
they're
it's tough to
definitely
tell.
no. As far as like the Switch tribes goes, the new Sela is definitely getting the least amount of content, which doesn't bode well for them.
Um, I'm thinking about putting D next. Do you disagree?
No, I think D should be next.
I think that she had a good enough week to like definitely raise her up. I do think she
Yes,
could go back down again,
I definitely agree with you.
but
You agree with this week was really good. It boosted her up a lot. Like the last, you started her off at 17, and now she's at 9. So like this really speaks volumes to her, especially for this week.
mhm,
But she can easily just go right back down,
yeah,
and we probably will see her go back down at some point.
I agree. I don't think she's probably gonna stay high, but it is enough. Like I said last season, I did a lot of like I wanted to like reward or punish Sophie and Savannah based on the episode they had.
Oh, yeah,
And so
Sophie
I
B and
feel like
Savannah.
D, like I want to reward her for having a good episode, but I don't know
Yeah,
how long it's gonna last.
no.
um, I feel like after this, it's kind of an open field here between the rest of these people.
Can I make a case for someone
Yeah,
here? I think Ozzy should be next.
really, Ozzy next.
Yeah, like I said originally that this was a very negative episode for Ozzy. You counteracted that a bit, but I don't think this was necessarily a good episode for Ozzy. Like he came up with the original plan to get out Angelina in the very beginning, and even after we came back from the challenge and showcased the ever complexities of the vote changing, Ozzy was not really ever in the know, and even when Emily just flat out told him the vote is potentially changing, like Mike's throwing out his name, and like this could be happening. Like Ozzy still did not really
Hmm.
know. He didn't really like it. Didn't click for him. Okay, something's changing. He still thought it was the same. And like you said earlier, okay, the edit is sort of hiding him. Like he's being put off to the side a bit. Either way, it's not very great for him.
Yeah. I'm gonna propose a counter argument.
Go ahead.
We rewarded D for having a good week.
Yeah,
Is this the spot that we punish Rick Devens for getting a goose egg?
I do think Rick Devens should be punished for getting goose egg, but do I think it should be 8? No, simply
Is that too low?
based off of the really great 3 episodes we got from him originally.
Okay,
Like if any of the if any of these goose egg players can recover, I think Devens is the most likely to do so.
that's fair. Okay, we'll put Ozzy at 8. Then what do you think?
I think it should be Rizo.
Okay, I'm fine with that. I think that Rizzo, I really think Rizzo has a lot of longevity in this game. I personally feel like between like all the main beefs of the season, Rizzo coming out on top of Charlie is the one I'm most
It,
confident in.
yeah, like between um the main beefs of the season are like Aubry versus Genevieve, who we can't decide on right now. It's going to be a in the moment sort of thing. And then we have Charlie versus Rizo. I'm more lean towards Rizo for some reason than Charlie, but like tides can change. And are there any other beefs
Coach
beefs
versus
that
Ozzy.
Oh, Coach versus Ozzy. Yeah, it's been a couple episodes, couple weeks since that was really in discussion. So I sort of forgot about that.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, I think that like. It's not like the best edit, the cleanest edit for Rizo. It's a very messy edit. But
it's been a messy edit for a lot of these people.
It's been exactly, and I feel like at least with Rizo, we've continually heard him be like, "I'm good. I'm ready to play. I'm ready to go far in this game." You know, I think that like, yeah, he got negativity, but then in order to get the good stuff that we got, like with his relationship with Colby, we had to get the bad first for the good to feel better, right?
And that's pretty much verbatim what we got this episode. We heard Charlie talk about him, how he's his mortal enemy. And then we got the latter stuff of him being positive about his idol later on and how he's proving that he belongs and is a great player.
Yeah. I think, and listen, we've seen members of the Tres Leches Alliance win with more negativity than this. So,
oh, yeah. Savannah was more of an anti-hero, though, really.
And I feel that way about Rizo right now. I think we have to get Devens out of the top 5 because of the goose egg. Do you disagree?
Yeah, fine. No, I don't disagree. Like, I had Devens at 5 in my rankings, but like 6 is fine with me. Like 6, 5, whatever.
I think that
I don't think
punish for the week. The goose egg, it's pretty bad. I don't want to make the same mistake I made with Joe in 48, where he got the goose egg. And I don't know. I don't fault anyone for like not getting the fact that Joe's not winning based off that. Like, like that's just such a red herring, really. Yeah, and I mean, I think that like. I'm probably going to fall into the same mistakes and move Devens back up at some point. But for now, like I gotta.
As long as you don't put him at number 1, like I don't fault you. Like don't put him at number 1. Simple as that.
I gotta at least move him down a little bit for now.
Yeah, and I don't think you think the next person that's going to be on there is going to get any higher than 5th. So like I'm fine with this.
Okay, so who's next in your opinion?
The previous number 6 placer, Coach.
I agree. I think things are looking pretty good for Coach. I really think people are sleeping on Coach. Like, he's Coach. Like, yeah, he's going to be a little bit messy.
It is the Dragon Slayer. Oh, it just popped in my head. Like, Genevieve, when she found the idol, she did the whole Dragon Slayer sort of thing. Like,
there you go.
I mean, that has nothing to do with Coach, but like it's like, oh, there is a like relation between Coach and Genevieve in a way.
He also he has a fantastic shot in the intro sequence, which I forgot to bring up last week, which might not matter, but if we're trying to Edgic the intro sequence, it felt significant. That is
once
cool.
upon an island to try to predict the winner of 47 based off the title sequence. Don't get me wrong, they fell flat on their face, but they tried.
I mean, I know that people do that. So if you're using that for anything. It's Coach. I know that people also have talked about the what's it called? The encore episodes have factored into their equation a little bit. He was heavily featured in that. I think that Coach's longevity, I don't know if he wins, but
I'm not too certain on wins potential, but like longevity for sure. Like I don't see Coach going anywhere anytime soon.
Exactly.
If it's maybe it's just me, but like, is this the least Coach has ever been featured in a season of Survivor? Like he was really featured in Tocantins, then he was versus Villains, and then he was like the star South Pacific. Is this the least amount of Coach we've gotten
in 4 episodes? Probably. I mean, he got a lot in the first 2 episodes, but
yeah,
I guess I don't remember what the first 4 episodes of Tocantins were like, but I know that he got a lot in Heroes versus Villains, and I assume he got a lot in South Pacific.
He was like the main person in South Pacific.
Yeah, so I mean, over the course of every season, I expect we're going to see lots more coach as we move along, which
Yeah,
is
like
part of
once he hits
the good part of his
that
longevity.
merge. Yeah.
I think that, it's good that we're not seeing too much of Coach right now, because I think that means he's going to stick around for a while.
Yeah. I agree with that.
Okay, who's number 4? I don't know.
I actually do know, but like I want to make sure I'm trying to read you right now to make sure that we're not going to have another debate. That this is just going to be a nice slide in.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I read you right, and I think this is going to go smoothly.
Okay, what do you think?
How do you feel about financial analyst Emily Flippin?
Honestly, I don't feel super strongly about the next two. I think that Emily has more negativity, which would maybe keep her at 4.
Like we can't put her at any lower, so 4 would have to work.
Yeah. I think that she is getting a lot of content. She is a main character. She gets a little bit
Yeah,
of that kind of pre-merge danger here,
yeah.
which
It's
is
like
good for her.
not every winner has that pre-merge danger, but like it does work out.
I think people are sleeping on Emily as well. I think that
I
she.
do think people have definitely were sleeping on Emily based off the premiere,
Mhm.
and like when this season started, I was going back to seasons, like trying to like analyze. Okay, this winner did this, especially in All Star seasons. Like the last Winners at War was its own thing, but the last like real All Star season was Game Changers, and like I was really trying to focus in on like Sarah Lucina's edit to see if that can be compared to anyone else. So, like, I would say like the two people who up until this point were the most similar to her were like Emily or Jonathan. Like Sarah didn't go to Tribal until like episode 5 or 6. Emily's
Mhm.
gone to every single one, but like her content wise has been very similar. Jonathan, on the other hand, is very much in line up until this point where she up until where he got the goose egg,
Yeah,
and
I think that's fair. I think Genevieve stays at 3.
I would say Colby.
Really?
Don't get me wrong, he had a very positive episode this time, but like
My biggest
it's still
concern is, well, I'll say this: if you don't want to put the next boot at number 2, I think Genevieve's a lot more likely to be the next boot than Colby is.
you did. I did say that, didn't I?
I don't think she is, but Colby's not going anywhere. I don't think.
You're right. Colby's not going anywhere, but like he the two confessionals, and it was only during that segment of the second Zac Brown song, and like I'm still thinking like premiere up here, we go down, and he stays consistent here, and I'm just supposed to say okay, I'm back on him 100% because of this episode. Whereas Genevieve, it's been like she's been up here and she stayed consistent. I
It,
don't know if this is affecting your train of thought or anything. Like I'm not trying to.
I would definitely keep Colby at number 2, in my opinion.
All right, fair enough. Fine. Who?
I think I'm gonna leave it because I feel pretty. I definitely feel it. I think I understand the Genevieve love. I think that Genevieve.
Angelina, Genevieve, Jonathan. Like I said, I wanted to defend them so badly.
Hey, I mean, you got her above Emily Flippin, which I wasn't even positive about either, honestly.
I'm just Genevieve was such a main part of this episode that I felt like she had to be at least top 3.
I agree. I think that, like, just out of these people up here, there's just a more foreboding, like, something might go wrong, um, than any of these other people kind of in the top 6 to 8 range, where I feel like they're all pretty good for a while. So, and I feel like Colby, he got that was such a good quote. It was such like really felt like a winner quote in this episode. Where he talks about he's going full tilt and he's going to ride this thing to the end.
He's talking like a new era player versus him being set in his ways back in his prior seasons.
Yeah. I feel like there's been a lot of talk about like people wanting to change from being like an old school style player to like adapting, and a lot of them either haven't been super successful at that so far or haven't got to showcase it in the edit.
You're
Whereas I
talking
feel like
about
Colby
Ozzy, right?
is
That's Ozzy.
yeah. Whereas I feel like Colby is like the shining example of that theme of the season of adapting to the newer game, and I feels like he is the example of doing that so far.
True, we haven't seen him go to tribal yet to prove that, but like from what we've seen so far, like he is definitely at least trying.
So, and I think we have to leave Christian at number 1. I mean, I said last week Christian's edit is so good. I think it's almost impossible for him to move down unless he gets voted out. Like,
I had him at number 2 simply because I had Genevieve at number 1.
Oh, really?
All of the Vatu tribe were pushed back to the very end of the episode, so that played a factor into it. But it was also like, can I convince you to put Christian at number 2? Can I do that?
I will move Genevieve up to number 2 if you want.
You were right on 2 things. 1, you convinced me that Colby's edit is as good as you've been discussing, and 2, I don't want Paula Carson.
Yeah,
I don't want to have Genevieve be my Joanne. I don't want to do that.
I think we'll see. I think the thing with Christian, and some people have been like putting him at 2 or 3 because they're like he's so overexposed. Yes, he's overexposed, but I don't think there's like problems with it. Hasn't been anything in the edit to make me go, oh, he's getting so much content because he's gonna get voted out soon or anything like that. Like,
Christian is also very much like a 3 type player where production loves him. Like, I'm surprised Cirie and Christian aren't like the 2 leading people in this whole thing. I think based off what we know about production, like this is very much in line of how they would want to present Christian. So that's my only thing. It's sort of like what you said week 1 with Mike White. Is this because he's Mike White, or is it because he's going to do really well?
Yeah.
And we were proven the latter.
I agree on that with Christian. I think that a couple things, some of his relationships, like Rick Devens, have fallen off. But Rick Devens, so like, is it more like Rick Devens is important to the Christian storyline, versus important on his own? Like, it feels like there's a lot, like so many of his relationships are important. I also think that with Christian, yes, he very well could be like the dragon or whatever, and he doesn't win, but he goes very far and gets taken out. But,
like a Jesse in 43.
Yes, I can definitely see that, but I think like I have to get something so substantial from someone else. Really, I need anyone else to go to tribal to convince me to move them above him.
Right.
But
right.
up until now,
it's been him,
it's been the Christian
Emily,
show.
and Ozzy that has gone to every single tribal council.
And he's been the main character all 4 episodes. So it's like, how can I don't feel justified in moving him down until someone convinces me that they're to move above.
Let me ask you this while I have you. If you were a member of the Survivor editing team and you knew Christian was going to win and you wanted to give him like that moment that is so weird and absurd that you included, and people go like, okay, this is notable, but why is this part of it? And you had like all this footage and like probably 2 times more of it because it is Christian and he does do like weird stuff sometimes. Would your first choice be, okay, he pooped himself? Like, I'm editing the winner so that people remember that he pooped himself. Would that be your first choice?
I don't know if it would be my first choice. I do think that is kind of a big scene, and I've compared it to other winner stories. The biggest thing for me, I think, is the motif of that his son is gonna watch this.
Oh yeah, 100%. Like his son is a really big part of this.
So I feel like that is like a big thing, like this, and he's mentioned it multiple times too. Like that feels like an important thing.
Yeah.
So I think he's really got that going for him. So yeah, there we go. Contender rankings. We got through it. I feel like pretty good about this in general. I feel like, yeah. I mean, no other thoughts on that. So
I think he thinks these are really good rankings. Like, I think it was definitely a team effort as to where everyone placed. Like, you had your opinions, I had my opinions, and I think we agreed on a lot of these. Like, we agreed Tiffany for sure, and so on, and we definitely did have some compromises in the middle of sorts.
I agree.
So,
I think
like,
there was some good push and pull there.
and like this is the point of having like these collabs, these sort of like guest appearances on channels. Like, you're supposed to have these debates, you're supposed to have these discussions, you're supposed to have these really great talks about this is a show that you really love, and like I got to do that with one of the best.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. So finally, we can talk about predictions for next week, or any other predictions you have for the future if you want to make a bold take. Would you like to go first, or would you like me to go first?
I mean, we're going to get two eliminated next week. Like, we know that from the preview. So like it's finally happening. Like, I predicted like this was going to happen when they announced the cast. Like 24 people. Like it's going to be a bloodbath of a pre-merge.
Yeah.
Right. I'm honestly surprised that it hasn't happened sooner. Like, probably the Kyle evacuation helped out to that a little bit. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
So like I honestly suspect that we're going to get these double elimination tribals from here on out till the merge.
I think it's possible. I kind of think that they might load a couple of them in the back end, but we're definitely going to need to get a lot of them at some point. So
we haven't seen the whole double elimination tribals in the individual stage since like the early 20s, I would say. So while I do think what you said of them appearing in the back end is a real possibility, they haven't done it in like over 20 seasons.
In Survivor 47, they did have the penultimate episode had 6th and 5th place voted out in the same episode.
I was talking about like on the same day.
Yeah, I mean, well, in terms of the same day, I don't know, but in terms of the same episode, I think that like they might save some double boots for later episodes, I guess is my point.
Yeah, I was thinking purely on the days that they're out there versus like the number of episodes.
It's tough to say. In terms of who's getting voted out next week, do you have a prediction?
Okay, so like I'm not going to say one person. I'm going to say like who I think is going to be voted out from each tribe, most likely.
Okay.
Because like placing all your bets on like, okay, this one tribe is going to definitely lose and go to tribal council, like that's just
it's tough.
That's just bad placement.
Yeah.
Vatu. Let's start with Vatu. 5 people now: Ozzy, Christian, Emily, Angelina, and Stephenie. Almost forgot Stephenie for there for a second. I think
it's honestly kind of tough to predict that tribe right now.
It is difficult. Do I think Ozzy's going to go home? Probably not. Like, I want to see him go home simply because of my standards and how I have these players ranked. But like, based on how emotional Ozzy is after Mike got voted out, we got to see that, and from the preview, he's very emotional. He's angry, and he's aware of his status now. So he might just go ahead, if he's he might as well just go ahead and play the idol. I don't know.
Yeah.
And from there, who gets voted out? Like, it depends really on if Christian and Angelina are willing to work together. I think Angelina would still be willing to work with Christian, but like, does Christian want to work with Angelina at this point?
Yeah.
That's what I'm wondering about.
I think that I honestly think it's highly likely Ozzy plays the idol next week, whether they vote for him or not. I think that, and I whether he does or he doesn't, I think that it's not really beneficial to him to take out anyone other than Angelina.
I mean, at this point, like, what would be the point for Ozzy to get rid of Angelina? Like,
I mean, he voted for her, right?
he voted for her, but like, she was just as blindsided as him with the mic vote. So like, he did more wrong to her than she did to him.
It's true,
Like,
but you know, if he takes out anyone else, I mean, like if he takes out Christian, they're probably gonna keep on losing. I mean, maybe he could take out Emily, but it seems like he has a pretty good relationship with Emily.
do we think Stephenie's going to be in any danger next week?
I mean, I would probably suspect it's gonna be between Stephenie and Angelina again. I do think it could be. I do think it could be Ozzy, but I also think it does feel like he should play his idol if he has any suspicion.
We've seen him go home with idols before. We know he's not the most aware person.
Yeah, you know what? I wouldn't be surprised. Maybe they vote out Ozzy and then Genevieve gets her idol back. I could see that.
I would really want to see that. I would really want to see that. Genevieve now has 2 idols out in play, one from Ozzy and one from Rizo. And I honestly want to see them both get voted out now because she can get those idols back, and she'd have so much power in this game.
I do think, I mean, in my opinion, I think that this tribe is definitely going to lose again. I don't know how they get first place in the challenge. And like Angelina's edit doesn't give like the same type of edit that the other boots have given, but
No.
I don't know.
A lot of these people's edits don't give the same as those who have been voted off. Like, this is the majority of the people here have gotten really, at one point or another, really bad edits.
I could see Angelina getting voted out, like because it's a double tribal though, and maybe they don't have as much to show. But that tribe's tough. But my prediction is that tribe's going to lose.
It's a double, so like I don't see the I can see them maybe being one of those tribes, but like both, no shot.
Exactly. I think that Kahlo is going to win immunity, in my opinion.
I want to let's play through if they lose real quick. Like, what would happen? I think we've talked about this before, but is it just based off the storyline? That seems like what would transpire if they do go to tribal. But like, would Aubry play the idol? Would they split the votes? Who would Tiffany and Aubry target if they don't target Genevieve?
Honestly, it's hard for me to imagine Aubry not playing the idol. I think it's pretty clear that she's on the bottom. Her not playing the idol and getting voted out with it would be absurd.
We've seen her fall into the trap before on Edge of Extinction.
Yeah, but I think it's like she seems to be pretty aware that she's on the bottom. So I mean, it's possible, but I think it's more likely either they take out probably Tiffany in a split vote, or maybe Genevieve does get idled out in like a big blaze of glory.
I don't want to see that. I don't
want to see it either, but I don't know how Aubry doesn't play the idol if they lose. Unless she like throws, I mean, maybe it's possible she could throw Genevieve under the bus and she really is convinced they're all going to vote out Genevieve and then they don't, they vote out Aubry. Or she thinks it's going to be Tiffany maybe, or Chrissy, but I don't know. It's tough for me to imagine.
It is tough to imagine. Like, this whole Aubry versus Genevieve feud is just something we're going to have to witness in order to get real answers. Like
Exactly.
prediction is very, very difficult to say right now.
And then as for my main prediction of the week is I think that Charlie is getting voted out next week.
I can definitely see that. Like he popped off in episode 3. They're going to his tribe could lose in episode 5. It would really fit in line with one of these players in the past that appears in this who has a very small edit in the very beginning, gets to then suddenly comes alive, only to be taken out swiftly. Taylor Swift not
Yeah.
mentioned. Swiftly, he to just go home really quick.
Yeah, he definitely has that bubble of visibility. Honestly, I am kind of enjoying mental snap, psychotic Charlie arc. It's not what I expected,
No, not at all.
but
Like Charlie was very much cool and calm, collected all throughout 46, which didn't really make for great TV. But like we knew he was a really good player because
yeah.
of it. But like this is like deranged, vengeful Charlie who is like Maria scorned me so badly, I cannot let it go.
Yeah.
So I cannot allow any Marias or anyone who even mentions Maria to make it anything close to where I want to end up in this game.
So I think that Rizzo is going to find out that Charlie is targeting him, and then
I just
either he's able to flip the votes on Charlie, or Rizzo plays his idol and idles out Charlie. I think it just feels like the downfall is teed up, ready to go.
it does feel teed up a bit. Like what was Rizzo called like something Operation Blood Feud in the preview?
Oh yeah, something
It
like that.
it could be about Charlie. Um, we haven't gotten much from Charlie as far as communicating these views with anyone else. So like, unless they're very perceptive and know what Charlie's thinking, he's going to eventually tell someone, probably in the next episode, his problems with Rizzo, and they're going to tell him, right?
Yeah, I think he's gonna like tell people I want Rizzo out. I'm targeting Rizzo, and then someone is gonna eventually tell Rizzo about it. I don't know who, but that's my expectation.
There's that scenario, or it's the one where Dee and Jonathan get their way with their initial thoughts and try to make a move against Cirie.
I think it's
Like
feasible too.
we discussed this earlier about how Cirie got the goose egg, and this lines up really well with other players who have gotten goose eggs and then got voted out the next episode. Like I think an example of this of someone from last season who actually did get a somewhat good at it, but then got goose egg, then got voted out. I think would be Matt from last season.
Yeah,
Like Matt definitely had the best edit from his original Hina tribe, but then he got the goose egg,
that's
then
a
he got
decent
switched, then he got
comparison.
voted out.
Yeah, I could see
It's
it.
a yeah.
Okay, you want to? I just thought of a really bold prediction. Okay,
I'm listening.
they maybe are gonna like split the votes between Rizzo and someone else. Rizzo
Charlie?
talks to Cirie and Rick Devens. They figure out
Okay.
that they're on the bottom compared to the other four. They use Cirie's extra vote,
Extra
and they put
vote.
4 votes on Charlie and take out Charlie.
I can see that happening. Like I think if we're talking about overall, like I think I don't think Jonathan's going anywhere. I don't think Kamilla's going anywhere based off the fact that we've gotten nothing from her
Yeah,
so far. And yet, unlike Tiffany, it seems like that's more to protect her versus okay, we don't know
yeah.
where this girl is at. Um,
I think
I don't think Devens is in danger either.
I don't think that. I think it could be D. It could be like that thing of her talk about how she doesn't like losing means that she gets put
Yeah,
out next. But I think
yeah.
it's probably between Charlie and Cirie, in my opinion.
I can see a Charlie. I can see a Cirie. I can see a D, like wiggling themselves in there. Like I believe I talked about this earlier. How D suddenly popped up a bit this
Mhm.
episode, and that could be a tee up just like Charlie to get voted out soon.
Yep.
Like, I know we're talking about like some pretty big targets. Like coming into this, like I believe Charlie, D, and Cirie are pretty big targets for everyone.
Yeah.
And like now that's sort of like coming together full circle.
Well, we'll see how it goes next week. But that's all we have for this week's Edgic analysis. Void Tune, thank you so much for joining me this week. It's been very fun to talk to you.
Thank you so much. Can I say something? Can I address the audience?
Go ahead.
Thank you so much to North once again for allowing me to come on here. It was really, really great. I really like talking about this. If you ever want me back, I'm open to it. As to all my fans out there, everyone that did come onto here to listen and listen to me talk about Survivor. I've done before on my channel. I talk about Survivor. I talk about the challenge, and to all my actual real fans out there, like this is me. This is what I look like for starters. Like I've never actually done a video like this where I showcase myself. I didn't really want to, but now is the right time. Like I talked the talk for so long, time to walk the walk. So as far as like on my channel, when the merge comes, I'm going to be doing a video on the player rankings and their chances to win moving forward. When the season's done, I'm going to do a player ranking once again. Mid-season is power ranking. End of the season is player ranking. I'm also going to do the retrospective. Like I've done the retrospective for Survivor season since 44. I've done every season since. So expect the 50 retrospective. I'm also going to do a video on the winner, whoever that is. I'm going to do something for them. I don't know what yet, but it's going to be great. This has really been great. I love doing this. I want to do it some more. Like I have so much to say. Like thank you to all my family and friends. Like this has truly been great. Thank you for all your great words. I've talked to a lot of you about doing this, and I really do appreciate all your advice and everything. Like this has been great. Like, and I'm going to end up on Survivor one day. Like this, it is an actual dream. Like I don't want to just talk about Survivor. I want to be on Survivor one day. I want to play to win, and one day you are all going to talk about me in a sense. So
maybe
it's a promise.
We'll wait for that day. Well, thank you so much, Void Tune. I appreciate it. You can go check out his channel to see that sort of content. And that's all we got. I will see you all next time. I have been North. Stay frosty, y'all.